glory, glory in the light of the Radiant One. I am so excited you are all here. It's been a joy and an honor to do this tribute to Dr. Celestine Star, who made her transition or ascension on July 4th, 2022, 5 p.m. If you haven't seen that first episode, Glory in the Light of the Radiant One, make sure you check that out first. Are you from this planet? I know ever since I was a child, I have never felt like I'm from this planet. Comment if you do feel the same way. Where are you from? Do you know where you're really from? Do you know your galactic origins? My guest today is, of course, Dr. Celestine Star. You will be hearing from her amazing information that she has downloaded in her lifetime from the High Spiritual Council and the Galactic Star Federation. I myself went on a few sky watches with her and learned how to make contact, which is why this trilogy is called Glory in the Light of the Radiant One. It means that you are an awakened being and you are ready to make contact. And as long as you have consciousness and just the openness to make contact, that will happen. And that is exactly what happened when I decided to have my own sky watch. I went to a mountaintop that was off the grid, and we stayed up there, looked in the sky, and took a few deep breaths and said, "Glory in the light of the Radiant One." And sure enough, the sky started to come alive, and I noticed that what appeared as stars were not really stars. They were actually starships, and they started to move. I know you probably may not believe me, but if you're watching the show, I think you probably believe me. In case you don't believe me, I'll share with you that a few days later, the same friend and I were driving back. He's a real estate person who's showing me some property, and we came back to his house, and suddenly we noticed that there were some people standing on the streets filming something in the sky over the sea. And we looked up, and there were these ships. There were like a lot of them. We knew that they had come to see us, specifically that they were by the beach, which is right where I live. We decided to hurry back to my condo building, where sure enough, there they were, right over my balcony. And guess what? I have footage. I knew that it was because they had heard our call when we went on the sky watch, said, "Glory in the light of the Radiant One," and we called them in. So they now know where I live. That's what Celestine told me. They now know where you live, and they came to visit you. And sure enough, they did. And I have video footage of that shot from my very balcony. There's a lot of talk these days about contact, about sightings. I actually have my own footage. How exciting is that? So make sure you stick around until the end of the show to see my video footage that I shot right over my balcony on June 27th. I am Heaven Hope. Welcome to Conversations with Goddess. I am so excited you are all here, and I can't wait to show you the starship that I filmed. Enjoy the show, enjoy the transmissions from Celestine, and enjoy the footage. Here's a recording of Celestine, which she is now sharing with us. Well, she shared it with us before, but I don't think you're all really aware of it and of the value and the importance of it, so make sure you listen to this and take some notes.
And I start with Aisha because that is my serious name. I am the emanation of Nephthys, twin sister of Isis. I am here to the Syrian gateway, and I have been here for thousands and thousands of years. This is my last walk among you. I will be there, but I am my last walk. In this lifetime, I have been across the river. I have been to the cities of light and to the places of beauty and illumination. It was my destiny. As I said, I was born into a metaphysical family of the highest degree, magic with a K. I studied and learned the metaphysics, esoteric, astrology, hermetics, the alchemy. It was spoon-fed to me. I was groomed to become a priestess. And understanding how to move out of body into the astral planes to determine things and events that are happening around the world. This is what is occurring right now. There are many, many who have such strength and power, but they have been guided towards a lower path, which was not my path. I knew that I had come here for the elevation of consciousness, but I swore that I would learn the way. It was the only mystery school that I could go to be where I am today with you, Galactic Consciousness. At the age of 6, I had the near-death experience. I moved into the light. Through the light, I was addressed by 2 blue beings, although there was other consciousness moving around. And as I moved to this place, I was shown my life. And I could see every time you blink your eyes, every time you say, yes, I love you, but no, I don't really love you. But yes, yes, that's fine. Every time. And then I moved into the Godhead. As I moved into the Godhead, it cannot be spoken. Those that know don't say, and those that say don't know. So I want to just tell you that that has been with me my whole entire life. As I came back at 6, every circuitry that was within me was open. The knowing was clear, radiant glory. Yes, there are other levels to our DNA circuitry, but it took me years to master it, and I had to shut down portions of it to be among the humans, to be among you, because it was not acceptable. Even now, we are called woo-woos, but in truth, those of us who have advanced, those of you who have taken the time to advance yourself, you are the ridgepole around which our human race as a species is evolving and becoming prepared for the veil is lifting. We need you. We need your wisdom. Your wisdom is needed. Holding the higher frequency at all cost. So I came back and I lived my life kind of in hidden secrecy, not really stepping out and trying to be, oh, I'm the channeler of this week. But I have respected deeply. And I moved into quantum science. I was an optician. I moved into neuroscience, photonic light in the eyes. I had my practice. I moved into the high mountains, guided to a place where the ultra-terrestrials live. And evolution is a given by the Creator. Your first breath was connected to who you are, your function, and your quality. And that is unfolding. But yet, as you awaken to who you are, you then have some movement in that, because we are starseed, we are human seed consciousness, becoming God self. So here we go. Your life journey into galactic consciousness. These are the gateways. Metaphysics, cosmos, study the cosmos, galactic intelligence, supreme forces, and all existence.
Glory in the light of the Radiant One. Glory in the light of the Radiant One. Glory in the light of the Radiant One. This is Celestine Star. It's 4:44 a.m. And I am holding space in my heart for the world. I'm so excited. Today is 10/21/21. I was awakened at this time to share with you a transmission from Commander Tanendor, so that you may prepare for the most glorious moment. For I have seen, and they have shown me, the time to come. Greetings, this is Commander Tanendor. It is with great illumination and honor that we present to you information for all of humanity. It is coming now, the shift for the human seed consciousness to once again align to their true illuminated selves. There has been vibrational frequencies that have enabled humanity to specifically focus on the existence within your dimensional field called Earth. We call it the greening area. It was created to enable resources of living and places of wisdom and learning. For the past 10,500 years of time and space in Earth years, humanity, or the human seed consciousness, Earthkin, you have lived and developed so that your purposeful function and quality could be revealed without much interference. Know that the reversed ones, who were once again allowed to come and live upon your earthly dimensional field, came forth into your existence once again during that period of 10,500 years. The reverse ones, known for their need to control and to create genetic hybrids and engineerings, the need to interfere with the original human seed consciousness and to take their place as leaders and enactors of others' lives, and is now in a place where their purpose and function is so overlaid with the purpose and function of most humans within the greening area that an intervention by the Radiant One is to come on November the 11th, 2021. The frequency of 11-11-21 will be so extraordinary. Know that the pouring forth of radiant vibrations so glorious, it will break the barriers set up by those of reverse consciousness. And understand that reverse consciousness is now within the human seed genome. It has been for certain ones, not for all human seed consciousness, but for certain ones that have been reincarnating or incarnating into biological units that have receptors that will and can be activated by the reverse ones from that time in the early genetic experiments before the barrier of 10,500 years ago, in which the separation between the pure human seed consciousness and some hybrid human seed consciousness and the starkin. Understand that there are receptors from that time period when the reverse ones chose to do genetic experimentation as they are now in this time and space within your earth existence. And so those who incarnated into the lineage of the genome that has this receptors, they were activated. And so through the thousands of your earth years, this activation then turned on, and slowly you have the energies of those who would want to command and rule the kingship. Once again, those who came from other planetary systems, you call the Babylonians. There are some who come such as the Romans, those who are conquering in nature within your human sea consciousness history, are those who have taken on the reverse consciousness. You now have governments of the world, almost all of them, who are being led by consciousness of a reversed nature. You have the beings from different planetary systems who are of reverse consciousness that have penetrated through the barrier that was set up, the life barrier 10,500 years ago, so that humanity would be able to evolve on their own as much as possible. This was not an imprisonment, for if any human sea conscious chose to reconnect with the Starkin, with their galactic consciousness lineage, their celestial lineage, it was always open. The gateways were open. The different portals kept open by shamans, kept open by nature forces, kept open by those who practiced the arts of spirituality. And so it has never been a prison of enslavement by the Radiant One, who is expressing its own life through every second of existence. And in this world of human sea consciousness, the earth world with animals and plants, everything that you are experiencing are all expressions of the Radiant One, including the reversed consciousness, emanations, and those beings are all expressions of existence. It is time now for the shift in which humanity becomes realigned, reopened, reintegrated with its celestial consciousness, with its galactic consciousness. This dimensional field will once again be without its barrier. And so the integration of off-planet, off-dimensional fields, multidimensional intelligences, integrating and associating with humanity begins. It has begun some time ago in your Earth years, 100,000 years ago. All were one. 10,500 years ago, there was the separation. Only if one needed could one go through the veil, as you call it. 10,500 years ago was the beginning of the Simprith, the divine plan. 2,500 years ago, the first of the illuminated ones began to come onto the planet. And so those who would specifically take humanity and to a place of higher evolved consciousness, the ones who came before 2,500 years, although they were called the avatars, they brought the awareness that other illuminated intelligence existed. Their teachings were then brought through by incarnated higher intelligences to slowly give the teachings and the understandings that others can obtain to these levels. But it was not until 2,500 of your Earth years ago that the actual incarnations and the emanations of intelligences that are from other dimensions begin to have permission to come in and interact with your human seed consciousness beings. You have now enough understanding, and the synapses of the human is awakening, and there is an opportunity for those who are prepared, or those who are able, sensitive, willing to receive and be activated in your celestial consciousness. Know that everyone in your planetary system, everyone in the Sheshata, the whole Milky Way, will receive the outpouring of the Radiant One, sending out from the core of creation out into all reality. Feel my words. They are of truth, love, harmony, balance, compassion. Feel the words of what I say, for the vibrational frequency of the Creator will pour forth in the emanation of radiant glory upon all who exist within the field of their existence. The field of existence goes beyond the Sheshata, the Milky Way. Let us call it the cosmic field of existence. Those receiving the energies, even the reversed ones, have an opportunity to come into the unified consciousness of oneness again. This is a radiant pulse that comes forth from all that is, from the Radiant One themselves. On the morning, beginning in the early morning, you call it in human seed consciousness, the outpouring shall begin. The early morning we are looking at before dawn, before the sun rises. We will give you a moment of time and space as those who need to set purposeful timing. In the dawning of the morning, 444, will begin the emanation. As it pours forth, it will awaken, and the full strength of the emanation can be felt at 11:11 on the day of 11/11/21. The portal gateway will come through the chakra system from the internal fields within to without, and pour downward, down through the chakra system, through the body. As it enters through the seventh chakra into the physical body, know that it shall pass through the gateways of the energetic, the etheric, and the energetic bodies of humanity. And all things upon the earth, trees and animals, rocks, all things will receive this beautiful, glorious, radiant energy. Know that it will enable the synapses to break the shield code that has held you as only a human seed consciousness, for it is not necessary any longer. The abilities for you to rise in awareness and awaken will be at that moment, should you choose. Even with your shield removed, even with the barrier removed, if it is your purpose and function to remain in the state of humanness only, then it shall be. For those who are opening to full enlightenment, to understand you are star seed, your star seed consciousness, then let it be so as the emanation moves down through the chakras, past the synapses, through the chakras of your third eye, as you speak of in human seed consciousness, down through the throat, into the heart, awakening as seed DNA, going in and activating all the way down through the power center, creative, sexual centers, and the survival life center. It will anchor all the way through your embodiment, through into the earth. There is no one that can prevent this from happening, but it is your will that will open fully to this present moment. With the opening of the emanation of self, the star being, then you will be representative of earth. You are always the tone of earth. The earth has its own tone, and should you will it be so within your own existence, you will then be in full association with all of the cosmos and the intelligences that have prepared themselves to be your guide and guardian into this new awakening of Galactic Hood, will be available to communicate and be present with and begin the relationship with your starkin. The Simprith, or divine plan, is now in full activation. There is much to learn, and we will bring once again more transmissions encoded especially for you, humanity, human seed consciousness. But know that once you are open to bring your consciousness to the heavenly realms of celestial beings who are there in benefit of the whole of creation, you may call them the celestial ones, for in bringing your consciousness to the highest vibrational frequency of love, truth, harmony, balance, and compassion, bring your focus into your heart and ask for the connection of the celestial ones, those who are benefit to the all, to come forth and communicate with you, and they will. The vibration is a pureness, you will know it. And we are excited that those who are ready will awaken to the glorious illumination of their celestial selves. And from there, your envisionings and your will then be a large part of the recreation of the earth into Galactic Hood. More will come. We are complete. This is Commander Tannendor speaking to you on behalf of the High Spiritual Council. In all grace, we say, peace be on your way, and glory in the light of the Radiant One. I take a breath, and we completed this transmission. It is wondrous and glorious. I am so excited. The transmission was completed at 5:09 a.m. And so my love is with you, the light is upon you. We go to prepare now. Prepare yourself for those who've been asking. The time has come, and the glory of the Radiant One now steps in and overrides the shadowing that has been with Earth for so long. I am so excited, and I'm excited for you and myself and for all of us who have been waiting. The amplitude of our consciousness they have shown us as we focus, laser focus our vision, it's going to be so important. My love, is with you at this moment. I am bursting with excitement. So I'll see you there.
We are here at the gateway of the Star Nations. It is an ultimate gateway. And in the writings that they gave us, the transmission in chapter 11, they speak about Earth being a place where beings would come from all over the galaxy to learn. Now, there was a time when everyone lived in the septicles. They didn't come into this third dimension except for like resources. They'd come in, get what they need, and leave. And eventually, Earth was colonized. We did go through a situation where the whole of the Milky Way, the Shishita, moved into a sector of time and space that was a very low frequency. They call it the destructive period, where the one continent broke up. There was a reverse of magnetic field. I think it was 400 million years ago, something like this. It's in the book. The reverse consciousness occurred. So what that looks like is generally most galactic intelligence is unified. It has a unified consciousness of knowing the graciousness of the Radiant One and working through the Primas, the High Spiritual Council, the Star Confederations, and the Galactic Star Confederations. They would move from one planetary system or star system to another. So when the reverse consciousness happened, what occurs is that person becomes very selfish. It's a reverse consciousness, self-centered, wanting to control, wanting to own, wanting to take over. So we have all these reverse consciousness people who are trying to and have been working diligently. This is a part of their expression. And what's interesting is the galactics love them. They see them as their brother and sister. They see all of us as kin. They call us the kin. The reversed consciousness occurred for the first time because they had done the colonization on planet Earth in the third dimension. And when the lower frequency came, the reverse consciousness happened throughout the whole of the Milky Way. So anything that was in a third dimensional frequency, the reverse consciousness occurred. They took care, the Galactic Star Federation, the High Spiritual Council, to rescue. There was a whole rescue operation that went on for thousands of years, and some people could be healed and some not. Some lost their embodiment and they're just in psychic form and intelligence form. And many of these psychic intelligence, such as the Ascensions speak about, the Archons, come in and influence. They cannot physically manifest, but they come in and they offer different modalities of consciousness. I will give you technology and, other species that are of reverse consciousness that could not be helped have re-entered into our sphere. And cracking open our world with atomic bomb blasting and nuclear has allowed for them to even more. So they've been working diligently, say, for 50 years or so. I've seen it. I've been following it. And now they have pitched their last and the most powerful cast. They've pitched it, I don't even know what to say, a thought form. But it is for each one of you to say, they have no power in my life. It is my life. This is my world. And I create my world as I need. Find the timeline that takes you directly to the higher, to the place where you need to be. And I wanted to speak into this, that the only one who can take you on and off this planet is the Creator. So any fear that you have within you is that fear of death. And that fear of death is the transformation to meet your Maker. So what is it that you are really afraid of? Because the glory and the beauty and the radiance and the place of being, I cannot give words, but only just an emanation of breathing out and just saying, check in with yourself if you're creating scenarios of fear and turbulence, and if you've taken the red pill. So know that it's time to move on. The glory is happening. The veil is dropping. I'm so glad you're here today. And let's see, I do want to say, you can read there my connection in 1960, El Magardo, Lancaster. Ah, yes, I have been in the Dragon's Den. My husband, Ernest Robert Hunt, was high security around the world. He had done 2 wars, and they gave him the security of Edwards Air Force Base. And there I was able to be taken before down into some of the lower parts of that base, something like 43,000 miles. Anyway, I came face to face and saw reptilian. So I want to tell you that there are those of reverse consciousness that would put fear in your heart. And I know that people have been abducted. I have done many years when I was up in the mountains in the 80s, up in Middletown, and I had a practice, and I still do, in helping people to go through the process. And I call it celestial activations. And those people who are abducted or taken for their eggs, or the yeast came into the women to use it for the skin of the little grays. There was different formation, but each time when you really get down to it, nothing can be done to you except for agreement. So my work has been, shall be, to help those of you who need. You can get in touch with me, and I'm going to later talk about it. Go sessions to understand your galactic origins. Where did you come from before you came to Earth? Very detailed. It was given to me by the Galactics in order to prepare you to go to Skywatch. But really just to prepare you to be in the presence of the ultra-terrestrials, extraterrestrials, those of the high command. So when you go into the galactic awakening of the self, then you get the detailed understanding. You go back in time 10,500 years. Are you in your original form? And that is so fascinating. I mean, the details of that alone. And maybe you're by yourself. Maybe you were a scout. Maybe you were a meteor that hit the Earth. Maybe you came from the astral belt and you went into the Earth. And so we reverse engineer your life, and we bring you back to the place of origin. There you understand how you came to Earth. Did you come in a Stargate? Did you come on a ship? Did you just appear because you have that ability? You find out your powers, your understanding, and you meet your original grouping. We look at your contracts and agreements, because as I said, nothing happens to you without agreement. I have found more people who have had association with orbs appearing, or they see a ship and or something happens, and it's their own Starkin appearing to wake them up. They planned it. I'm going to incarnate in this human body, and exactly I need you to wake me up. Promise that? Yeah, we'll promise. We'll come and wake you up. We'll take you on the ship. How about that? So I've learned so much to look at each individual case in what is, quote, abduction. Sometimes they are not. The cattle mutilation, what is that all about? I can go into that, but I choose, today is about you, and just to understand that there is workings with groupings of people who need these things to happen, who allow certain beings to participate within their life. And so I want to say to you to look at that in galactic origin or celestial activation. I began light group meetings way back in the 80s, and we had so much information. It was all about everybody sitting and accepting each other. And so we had gone, pretty much everybody had agreed that there was more going on than what was given. We also met the Solar Cross, and this was amazing. The Solar Cross began by a gentleman who was in the CIA, and he was out listening to the neighborhood talking, and he was approached by Ashtar Command. Eventually, he went on a ship, he came back, and he left the CIA and began the Solar Cross. So I had the pleasure of meeting them. And so there's these groupings all over the world. I just want to honor you all for all the work that you're doing in interfacing with the star nations. My life purpose, to assist in the elevation of consciousness on earth in a sacred way. There I am, awakened consciousness. Yeah, I love it. I'm so glad to be awake. And I love all those at every level. It's just who you are. So we look at the natural forces, celestial beings, ultra-terrestrials, star-kin, the angelic realms. And I have to say, you know, I believe all women are touched by the angelic realm when they conceive and when they have the child. And they are watched over by angelic beings and presence. Archangel Michael appeared as a golden orb when I conceived my daughter, Lysandra Michael. I named her the flower of Archangel Michael. And the preciousness of that is with me. So we have angels, and we have heavenly emissaries, and we have, it's all multidimensional, and the secret government. And as what I've been told is that they're not going to wipe the world away and give us a brand new world so that we can live in. No, we must learn to work with the new frequency. We must understand the new sciences that will enable us to modulate and bring consciousness online, evolve and elevate, evolve and elevate. And as the frequencies increase, they will come forward and meet us. And so we have awakened humanity, unified cosmic consciousness, and the councils and the confederations. So here we go. What's your story? You might want to write that down. Maybe do a timeline. See, when did I awaken to this? And that, I've been on the trail the whole time. And I'm so happy that you're here. So all of humanity is on a life journey of evolution. And we are all evolving into galactic consciousness. And again, when I say galactic, think galaxy. We are in the galaxy. We've gone from child, you know, to parents, to community, town, city, state, you know, nation, global, yeah? And now we're leaping off. We're going beyond solar system. Because when we do, as the veil drops, and literally I'm going to go into the science of what's happening there, we're in a whole new vibrational field, and that is why we're seeing more. They no longer have to cloak. This is it. We are in the nest. We are in a whole new vibrational frequency. So think where you are in the human evolution of consciousness. What's the work ahead of you? Might want to write that down now. All this stuff about racism, superiority, you know, the galactic see us as one species. We are seen as one species, and that's what we need to get to. Okay? Humanity this is the signature form for Earth, and it has a tone. Earth has a tone within the whole of the Sheshata. That beautiful tone of Earth. And our Earth is a little scrambly in its intonation because of all this modulation of frequency of thought. And so as we awaken, we become recognizing we are one species as long as one child is starving, as long as there are somebody without a home, you know, they do not see us as superiority. I'm sorry. They see us as a multicolored, multifunctional. What is our quality and our function? Individually, we each are birthed into creation. You, as an individual, are indestructible. There is so much respect for that. It will continue. Your life will continue to unfold no matter if you're in this form or whatever form you're in. That is you. But yet you have a purpose. And so the galactics, they honor your purpose. The ultra terrestrials honor your purpose and your function. They put it together, and that's really the best place for you. And so they teach us how to open the field, not to go get educated at a college, but to understand your purpose and function. And what do you need to lift you up and support you in that way? I want to just put that on the platform. And so we are seen as one species. We are children of the Sheshata who live upon the earth. And they asked me, how do we see through those little teeny eyes? You know, they're very humorous. They love to laugh. So we are all awakening that we are one species. And as the veil drops, you'll see. We are going to depend on each other. We are going to need to depend. And I'm seeing it now in this crisis. You know, all around the world, they're dealing with the homeless. They're dealing with those without food. They're dealing with the children. They're, you know, it's this mass awakening. So I'm very, very proud of humanity because we can step it up. And there are no borders. Look at us. I'm talking to the whole of creation. I'm talking to all of you out there around the world. As a species, we're experiencing galactic awakening. We are one species in the cosmos. So we're at the dawning of a new era. And this dawning is not the New World Order. It is the new day. We are moving into the differential awakening. Earth is ascending into Galactic Hood. Keep that in mind.
Welcome to Conversations with Goddess, Alan.
Well, I always love talking to the goddess. You sure I fit into this program?
Absolutely. You know what? This show is for goddesses, but it's also for the men who love and support and empower the divine feminine. You are one of the most supportive men of the divine feminine, and the goddess. So grateful to you for that.
Well, thank you for saying that, because you know what? Just a little separate from my subject. We are living in the body of the goddess. The matter, mother, mata world is the goddess herself in form.
Agreed.
Because it's the birth of life. And so we have to honor that because we're honoring the embodiment.
I embody the living goddess frequency. The most profound, powerful living goddess frequency of them all is Mother Earth herself, Mother Gaia. So we need to take better care of our mother.
And it's always important to balance the divine feminine with the divine masculine, right?
Absolutely.
The Native Americans say you cannot fly with only one wing. So we need both of our...
I believe it was the Baha'i faith that said the wings of humanity are comprised of two parts, the masculine and the feminine. And unless both wings are of equivalent strength and balance, the bird will not fly.
We need that balance. And I think that's why it's so important you're doing this show, to bring back into balance what's been so out of balance.
I so agree. Amen. A woman, aho, and oh goddess, thank you. You have a show called New Realities, which has been around for quite a while. Like, you actually started that show before there was even YouTube.
Started the show in 1993, before there was even YouTube. I was doing cable television in New York. So I had helped other people with public access. And I said, I know a lot of important people. I want to talk to people. Called the program New Realities because I'm always trying to push the envelope of what we can cognize in our frame of perception, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. And I have actually seen some beautiful shows that you've done. You definitely had an alignment with Celestine in the realities that you both were here to share with the world. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Oh, yes. She was very supportive of my work, and I was supportive of her work because I saw that she was functioning on another level of experience. You know, a lot of people can talk about their making contact, but to actually have made it, I don't think it was understood by a lot of people. And I've wanted to go deeper in with how she related to these other levels of life. She was always very loving. And I think she held that presence for whoever she met, if they met her on her level. I think there were a lot of people who didn't get who she was, but the people who did, it was just a shower of loving kindness.
She was the one who actually introduced me to the Galactics. And it's because of her that I have actually made contact on my own. Now, this show is sort of like part 2 of the Trilogy tribute show. And what happened was, when I was getting ready to do my interview with her, I decided I need to do a Skywatch here, even though I'm not in Northern California anymore. I thought, I kind of know what to do. I know how to call them by saying glory in the light of the radiant one. So I went up to a mountaintop off the grid with a friend, and we did make contact. It wasn't like the kind of contact that we made when we were out on the Skywatch with Celestine, because she communicated with them so intimately. After that experience of seeing some movement in the sky, she did her Skywatch on, I think, the 25th, which happened to be her last Skywatch. And I did one here at the same time. And then a couple days later, the same friend that I did the Skywatch with, and you saw the footage, and we're going to show that on the show. I couldn't believe this happened. It blew my mind. We were driving in the car, we got out in his neighborhood, and suddenly we noticed that people were standing on the street filming something in the sky. There were these lights, amazing lights overlooking the ocean, because I'm right by the sea. And we looked at it and went, "Oh my God, there's starships out there. This is amazing." And instantly let's just jump in the car and go over to my condo, which is right on the beach. And we dashed over. Try to take some shots with my iPhone through his window, but couldn't really get anything because it was at night. I knew they came to see me. I knew. And so I said, let's just hurry up. And sure enough, the minute I ran out to the balcony, there they were, right over the ocean in front of my balcony. And I just started saying, "Glory in the light of the radiant one, glory in the light of the radiant one." It was amazing. Oh, shall we watch it? That's my balcony. Okay. It's at night. We're all excited. And then
there's 3 lights. That's unusual. And they're rotating, it looks like. That is very strange.
Why? Why is that strange?
Well, because it's not an airplane. They don't get rotating.
No. That was a starship. I know what a starship looks like.
I'm looking at it now. Okay, let's stop there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 3 lights in a starship. Do you think that was Celestine herself?
That happened actually before she passed. That happened in June, June 27th. Please give your name.
Saúl Capistrán Valverde,
And where are you right now?
in Baja California.
The people in your neighborhood saw them when they were filming.
Yeah, and the lady, she was talking about it. And I
What
was
did she
like,
say?
She said something about that it's a light on the sky. She mentioned that it was making different moves. It was in the beginning was 3, then 4, and then they saw 5 lights. So we decided to come to your house. We jumped to the car and start driving.
Yes.
And the crazy thing is they start moving with us.
Yes, they were like following us, right? So I was trying to film from the passenger seat of Saul's car out the window, but unfortunately the light kept coming on because it was dark, so it was very hard to film. We just managed to get some amazing footage of our contact with the beautiful starship that blessed us, graced us with its presence, while I managed to say over and over again, "Glory in the light of the radiant one." Driving back, and then we saw this starship that is from his neighborhood, and then we decided to come to my condo, which is right on the edge of the ocean. I knew it'd be waiting for me right in front of my home. I'm in the process of doing an episode with Dr. Celestine Star, who does Skywatches. I did a Skywatch of my own with my friend, and look what showed up. The glory in the light of the radiant one. So we got in his car and dashed back to my condo building, tried to get it filmed in the car, which is kind of difficult. But right now, it is literally hovering. Look what showed up in my hometown, in my neighborhood. Glory in the light of the radiant one.
You said it right there. Glory in the light of the radiant one.
Right.
And so this thing was stationary. It wasn't moving. It was just there.
Yeah, it was hovering in front of my balcony. I'm like right on a building on the ocean. There's just a beach in front of me and the ocean. And there they are. And they're going to get closer now. And you're going to be able to see some interesting light.
It's really great footage, I would say. It's some of the best footage I've seen.
Really? Oh my goddess, I'm so excited. And I thought, this is amazing. And then now you see how they now just disappeared and it just became one?
I know. It's really...
Why did it do that?
Because they're fading out. I mean, they just come in and out of the dimension. So
yeah. So that was the main one that was in front of my building over the ocean. And originally when we jumped out in town, there were like 4 or 5 of them. And then there was some other ones, but I just focused on the one right in front because that's the only one I could get a good shot of.
So you want me to explain who they are and why they're here?
100%.
We're at the threshold of a new time, an awakening of the cosmic consciousness we always knew we were. The old dramas of the human civilization are passing away. The wars, the greed, the starvation, the genocide. We've done all that for 20,000 years, and the earth itself, the divine goddess itself, is vibrating at a quicker rate, and it's vibrating these bodies because we're living inside the earth. So because we're vibrating at a quicker rate, we're calling in these beings that are already at that level, right? Because you can only meet somebody at the level that you're at. So
right. Because as Celestine was saying, that you have to have the synapses to be able to see them.
Not just the synapses, but the vibrational aptitude within the cellular structures. Of course, that affects the synapses, but it has to be a cellular movement because it's an embodiment. We're talking about the embodiment of our higher beingness. We are the extraterrestrials. We are not of the earth. We're living in the earth. The earth is a beautiful, beautiful being, but the quality of our consciousness is not localized to the earth. That's what we're waking
I'm not from here. I've always known that.
Well, you're not.
Since I was a child, so come on. Heaven and star, what does that say? Embodiment of our galactic goddess selves.
We have a chance at this juncture in time space to open ourselves up, which you did that night that you saw those things. They just don't appear randomly. They appear to people emanating a vibration. Because even if they were to appear at someone who was at a lower vibration, I don't think they would even see. They couldn't even see it. So we're waking up to who we are. That's really the essence of my book. We're making contact with ourselves, the earth, and whatever else is out there. This is the destiny of humanity. It's to be equal, men and women, the two wings of humanity coming together and meeting the other so we can really live the reason we incarnated here. You know why we incarnated, do you? I mean, what do you think we incarnated for?
Giving me a quiz here.
I am. I'm testing your spiritual prowess.
Here to bring heaven to earth.
Well, you've already done that. And what does that do for you, heaven to earth?
Well, I'm serving my purpose and mission for being. I'm raising the frequency of the planet. That's why I created this channel, because I recognize that there's a great awakening happening and that it's really crucial that we know that it is safe. It is safe to be here at this time. It is safe also to make contact. And as Celestine shared with us in the Sky Watches in Galactic Earth Council, she's given us various tools, most important ones being Glory in the light of the radiant one. That
Yeah.
is speaking to the galactics and to the ultra terrestrials, which is what she wanted to call them.
Glory in the light of the radiant one, I
Mm.
think, is the purpose of incarnation. The
Mm.
radiant one, glory is giving joy and pleasure and sustenance to this earthly
Celebration
form.
and jubilation, yes.
Yes, and the radiant one, glory in the light of the radiant one is the purpose of incarnational existence, to glorify in the embodiment of the earth being.
Mhm.
That's the radiant one. And a ceremony I did about the earth is that the earth would gladly take back our earth bodies, but its greatest desire for its human children living in the earth is, you know what? Another quiz. You know what the greatest desire of the earth is?
Tell us now.
It's to become a star. It's to emanate the light, to
Okay.
change earth into sun, matter into light, consciousness into evolution of existence. We're evolving existence as we transmute the earth into a star.
Yes, the earth is ascending and
Yes.
she is actually becoming a star. She may already have become a star in another dimension.
She's becoming a Celestine Star. That's what she's, a celestial star. Yes, that's the destiny.
Yes, and that's what Celestine was here to share with us. That's why her name was Celestine Star. She was here to
Right.
remind us that we are all star beings and we are star kin, that it is absolutely time for us to become the stars that we were meant to be.
Well, you're already a star, but you know how we do it, and this is just my philosophy and belief. How do we do that?
I feel like I'm in second grade and my teacher's going, okay, did you study? And what's the answer?
No. I'm out because I don't want to just philosophize. I want to hear what other people think. But
You're my guest and we're interested
Okay.
in what you think, especially since you wrote this book.
I think we have come here and we gain enlightenment or light through experience. And through that experience, we get to feel. And when we can feel the totality of what it is to be human, to look at everyone, look at you, or look at the rich person, the poor, the young, the old, and you say, I can feel what they're feeling. I can sense their vibration.
What Celestine did so brilliantly, she had this incredible ability to instantly tune in to somebody's frequency, exactly where they are at, and also help facilitate that soul's journey where they may be stuck or suffering or in pain.
It's all of our destiny, what she did. And I never saw her do it that much, but you knew her better than I did. If we can all do that, we own the human experience. We get off the wheel of incarnation because we have felt the totality of what it is, the extent, the full range of the human essence. And when that happens, the cells ignite with a light frequency. We ignite the ascension body, the fifth dimension, whatever you want to call it. And that's our destiny. That's becoming a star, a true star.
Her life was a total exquisite example of that, of the highest potential of what we are all capable of here. And I believe, because she said this many a time, that this is her last incarnation.
She's able to do what you said she did and be at peace with everyone, lift them up. That is what we're here to learn ultimately. And you have to have done a lot of things, lived a lot of life, experienced a lot to be that peaceful being. And that's the glory and the light.
You just have to look at this incredible spiritual phenomenon that happened after she passed. It's like her leaving her body and her ascension has been a catalyst, and she continues to be a catalyst from the great beyond.
Well, look, she brought us together, right?
Yes, so we have to thank Celestine for our friendship. It's beautiful because she actually catalyzed community. She was very caring to everyone in her tribe, very inclusive, and she did everything.
She was. But so we all have to be that. When we all wake up to the fact that we're collective consciousness, then we will have reached the next level of planetary evolution. And then we start to make contact as a superorganism of humanity. Humanity itself, like all the cells in your body, are creating your awareness. So we're all different cells in the body of humanity. And when we come together in a cohesive manner, we speak with one voice, and then we could speak to other ones, and we create the next level of evolution. That's my basic philosophy. That's the reason we're making contact.
And truth is, there is only one of us here, and we are all cells in the body of the goddess.
But most people walk around as if they're isolated and alone and separate. Our job, me and you, Miss Heaven, is to include everyone in the greater consciousness of the quantum field. And then we realize we're all one. Not the personal experiences, but the essence of humanity, that you're really doing this to give back, to give to people, and to share your insights. Yeah.
Thank you for seeing that. Thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate it.
Well, why else would you be doing this?
You know, I don't need to be doing this. It's a lot of work, and it was something I resisted doing.
And why else would you have put 200 hours into creating a Celestine special, a Celestine Star program? It was because you saw something in her that other people could learn from. So it's another way of serving. I mean, the role of the goddess, I think, and the gods are to serve. But it's that goddess that is really humble enough to serve the bigger humanity. And
well, she certainly did that, and she inspired me, and that's why I had to do this. I had to honor her. This planet has some growing up to do. We have some catching up to do. It's time for us to kind of get out of kindergarten and perhaps awaken, maybe unify, and realize that we are not alone.
What you have before you is a design that I've been requested by the High Spiritual Council. And when I speak about the High Spiritual Council, it is an intelligence, a grouping of intelligence that does not necessarily have a physical embodiment. They are the overseers, of a sense, to this whole galaxy. You hear me say the word galactic because we are children of the Milky Way, children of the Sheshata. So they see us as one tone, one grouping, and Earth and our solar system is within that. They have been here since the very beginning. So we have the Radiant One, we have the Prima Ultras, which would be the right hand of creation. And then we have the High Spiritual Council. And their reach and their intelligence is throughout all creation and all dimensions. We are blessed to have this connection, and I just honor them. They have proven themselves time and time again to be of the highest benevolent energy. They have requested that I present this hyper-spatial star cube. We give it out to all of the Galactic Earth Council members who are with me at Skywatch, and we gaze upon it to activate the brain circuitry, the neurological base that enables us to have functioning in a higher dimensional field. Gaze upon this, and I'm going to play some intonations of sounds for you to take a breath and allow yourself to shift. You'll notice your eyes may move from line to line, point to point. And just take a moment to awaken yourself. Give yourself permission to listen and to hear and to feel and to know. And to invite your higher self to become present. I want to invite that part of you that comes from a different place, a different galaxy before you came to Earth. Notice when the eyes shift from one form to another, wave energy within you, catching these movements From point to point is the vector. So this is a vectorious design.
For all time you are loved, even more than you can know. And with each passing lifetime, we watch you as you grow, to be more full of wisdom, radiant and divine. Oh dear star, you're a masterpiece, a heavenly design. So may the goddess bless you and keep you all aglow. And we wish you goddess speed, and may all blessings flow. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And please remember to donate to the GoFundMe campaign to keep Celestine's light to keep going forward.